Please help me to overcome my problems with clouds and the darkness and the lack of interest in things. Please help me also to do things and make friends and be a friend and reach out and be part of the community, even though I really don't feel like doing any of that. And also, please, if it be thy will, I'd like to take yoga again. If thou could find me a place to go to yoga, or not find me a place, but I'll look for a place, and please bless me and prompt me that I might find a place where there's a spot opening and I might be able to afford it. And thank you for being there, that we can pray to thee. And I'm not sure what happens to me and why I have absolutely no interest in doing anything, but I'm grateful that I did tidy up in here a little bit. And that's really good. Now it's kind of a nicer place so I can come and sit and just be here and observe the sunshine. Thank you for helping me go through my videos and do that timestamp stuff. I'm really glad that I'm able to do some of that, but it's going to take a million days sitting in my chair. So please help me to be able to do that when I'm sitting in my chair, instead of wasting my time on television or YouTube and Netflix and whatever else. And thank you for our families. Bless us all that we will be able to be in good health. And if not, bless us that we will feel thee close to us. And if not, help us to be supported by the people who love us, that we might feel thy love through them. And please bless all those that we know and our friends and loved ones who are not dealing well with life right now, who have big, heavy burdens and challenges and difficulties and are trying to work their way through them. Bless them all with thy spirit, that they may make good decisions. Bless them that they may find joy in the journey, even though the circumstances are not ideal. Please help me to find joy in the clouds and in the cloudy weather. And thank you for this beautiful day, and help me to do something good by making this video. And these things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Good morning. 2 people are here. I have been trying to upload videos. I went for a walk the other day down around the moat on the Triaqua Trail, and I had a lovely time. It was very difficult to get around because there was so much ice and melted ice. Like there was open water and ice, and some of the ice sloped down toward open water, even though it was only a few inches of slope or uneven terrain. And I tried to upload the videos. The first video uploaded, and the second two just will not upload. They're on my phone, and I just can't get them to upload. And I keep restarting the upload because that's what they say you're supposed to do. And the original ones had all the details on them, and now, by the fourth one, you're just getting the date or something. But they're not uploading, and that's just the way it is. And and so I haven't been in touch with anybody. And I know that nobody's out there with me because there's no comments coming in. So I like it when there's comments. I really enjoy reading comments. I'm back at 8 years ago now. I'm not sure how far back they go that are unanswered. I didn't know that you could do this filter that filters between responded and not responded. I've responded and I've not responded. It was a pretty day outside. It was negative 17 Celsius last night, and it was up to negative 10 when I got up, which was not very early. I stayed in bed because it was cold, and I had lots to do in there. I could upload videos and answer comments and read the latest news on Twitter and check out a little bit of Facebook. I don't really go to Facebook often because I see there's just the same 5 people all the time, and what happened to the rest of the people I know? It's like, what's this? Why do they keep wanting me to add more friends if I'm never going to be able to see what they say or talk to them anyway. Anyway, there's so many ads in between, so you're scrolling through a lot of ads. Anyway, I don't like doing that, so I don't go there. I do go to Twitter, because I have a lot of news that I subscribe to. Hmm. I really enjoyed the other day being on my laptop and going through all these videos and checking just the transcript, going through the transcript, and every time I changed topic, I would go to that. I would write it down in the description, and I looked up all these places in Maui that I had made videos about, and I had to find exactly where they were and I put that in there too, like an if you go box. I'm kind of leaning toward press trips again. I don't know. I probably won't be able to do it. I have a busy gig babysitting, but I have a couple weeks off, so it's an opportunity to clean the house and go visit my friends and go to the temple and things like that. I'd like to paint again. Maybe I should just give lessons, then I would have people come over. That would be fun. I could give people lessons. I would like that. But then I have to get ready for it, right? Like, you know how it is about getting ready for things. I make videos, I'm not ready to say anything or do anything. I just turn on the video and think, oh, that's what I'll do now. I'll make a live video. No idea about the topic or anything. But that's my life. It kind of flows that way. There was this app I saw, and I thought, well, that's interesting. It's for helping with people with ADHD. Maybe I'll try that. So I clicked on it and downloaded it, and it said in-app purchases, and I thought, yeah, well, I won't buy anything, but I'll just check. And so I filled out all this details of what kind of what I want help with or what my problems are or whatever like that. And then it wanted my email address and then I had to check a box that said they could send me stuff in my email. So I clicked it. First I didn't click it, and then it wouldn't go through unless I did click it. So I did click it. And then the next screen is like $79 to use this app, or you could do this or this or this, and then 39 was like the least. And I thought, now I've given them my email address, and now I'm going to just get more emails from another junk sender that I don't want. I guess I could go to the junk thing and add some of these to junk mail, then they would just go straight there. But that is going to take time to go into the email stuff. You have to find the folder for junk, which is really hard to find because I have so many folders, because that's what I do is I make lots of folders. And then I have to go through the junk and figure out how you get this email to go to there, and then have to go find an email from them and then tag it to go to junk. Or maybe I can just go to the email and put it in, and maybe there's a way to put it into the category junk. Maybe there's an automatic way to do that. Wouldn't that be cool? Is that worth thinking about? I have a lot of things I could add to a junk thing that would just automatically go there. I usually go to an email that I get, like I get emails from the same place once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week or randomly. And if you go open it and you scroll down to the very bottom, there's a link for unsubscribe, and you click on that, and usually it'll just unsubscribe you. But then sometimes it sends you to another link, and then you have to tell them all kinds of stuff, and then they'll finally let you unsubscribe. And that's good, because then you stop getting those emails. I've got like 13,000 emails in my inbox. 13,000 unlooked at. That's why the comments, when they all used to just go to Gmail, and then you'd click on them, and then you'd have to go into the video itself. Then you'd have to go down and find the comment and answer it. It was just so much work, and so I didn't do it. But now this studio has this different sections. It's got content, it's got analytics and content, or overview, and content and analytics and comments, and then something else, monetize or something like that. And so I can just click on comments, and then they're all listed, and they're from the most recent that I have not, and I clicked on the top, I could do the category of not yet responded, and sometimes I'll find one and it's a person and I haven't heard from them in years, and so I'll do a search for that person's name. Then I only get that person's comments and see what I have commented or what they have said, and sort of to make a picture of who that person was in my life or who they are. Then reach out to them, answer the comment and say years old, but then I get to see them again. That's very nice. I've done that to 2 or 3 people. And it's nice to see people again that I haven't seen for a long time. The sun is out. It gives me this feeling of anything is possible. Anything is possible. But when the clouds are out, I have this feeling of being limited. And someone said to be curious. And I think that's a really good point. Be curious. If I'm curious, it changes everything. I look out the window, it's always the same view. But if I'm curious, I end up going out there and looking around. I haven't gone out looking around at all since the snow has been here, since I've been back. I really should, but we don't have much snow to cling on to, and so the surface is kind of slippery, or it could be slippery. There is a tiny dusting of snow now from yesterday, and there is a bit of frost floating around in the air, probably coming off the trees. You see that tree there? Beautiful frost on it. That window is very dirty. I could wash that window if I opened it. Could reach out and wash it. I can't wash the other side of it. Unless they both open. Maybe it opens on both sides. You can probably take the window out. Ha, wouldn't that be fun? It's a 50-pound window and it would fall and I'd break it. Not going there. But anyway, if you're curious, then there are possibilities, right? There are things that you could do. That was me when I was little. That was my brother and sister. I was thinking about all these pictures. We didn't go visit my parents much in Georgia. And it was a lot for us to come there and overwhelm my parents. And so I was not invited, and I was disinvited when I would think of it and suggest we could come and visit. Oh, no, why don't you stay there? No, we're pretty busy here. We've got lots of doctor's appointments. Anyway, that was the story of their lives ever since they retired, and even before. It was never a good time to come. So my children really don't know my parents. I have all these pictures of my parents and different things about their lives, and who cares? Who is going to be interested in my parents? What do I do with all the pictures? I have 5 children, and two of them went down and spent a little time there. And others, they're just not at all interested in these people. And my sister and I are both getting old. Like, she doesn't have kids. If I give her the pictures, what is she going to do with them? It's kind of, I have cousins, but they don't know my parents. I mean, not for a lot of years. Anyway, back to being curious. Being curious. If I'm curious, I don't feel like weaving right now. I don't feel like going down there and weaving, but I could. And, if I were interested in it, I would. But it's never the most interesting thing. I mean, it's easier to sit down and pick up the clicker and turn on the boob tube, or play Minecraft. Sometimes it's very nice to play Minecraft with my grandson. He's so smart. He's got so many things going on. He's 8 years old now, and my goodness, it's amazing to watch what children can do with Minecraft. It's not like other games where they're just running in search of things. Minecraft, they actually build and create they build structures and go inside and decorate them, and you know, they learn skills. They learn a lot of construction skills. I tidied up in here the other day a little bit. I went through, I've got all those electronic wires are out on the tables, and I've been going through the wires to see if they work. And the other day I bagged up a lot of them to get rid of them. And here I always had my hook rug thing, and I never do it. It's not of interest to me. I have other hooked rugs that I don't really appreciate the way they should be appreciated. I mean, my grandmother did this rug. It's an incredible rug. I have another one that's downstairs that is now in a chest because I don't know. It's dirty and it's dusty. I guess I should just take it to the dry cleaners, but it weighs like 50 pounds. Maybe not 50, maybe it's four. I can't lift 50 pounds. Of course, I can't lift it. I'm getting better at knowing my limits. I am improving in that way. I am knowing that if I lift up that, it will hurt. And so when I go to lift something up, if it doesn't just come up in my hands, I leave it. I think, that's going to hurt. And so I have improved in that manner. I am getting better. That's a pretty picture there, don't you think? I mean, it's not done. It's a very scant picture, but it's very interesting. You know, the water does look like water at the edge and water in the middle, and it's kind of deep and clear and clean, and it's a well done picture. Needs things in it. That tree in the front is not finished either. It needs more detail on it. Anyway, I like looking at it. I like the bright colors. It's uplifting. Kind of surprising that I could do that. And I could put more things in there, but I don't know what part of it I want to cover up with something. I don't know. Hey, you know, this morning the FAA shut down all the flights over the United States until 9 a.m. I wonder what time they did it. I got a tweet that said that. I immediately checked it and sent it to my son, thinking that, and then all the different news organizations started tweeting the same thing, and I thought there was a glitch in the computer system, and it was, did it turn off? Was there an outage? I said something like that. Well, look what happened. What does this tell the rest of the world? What does China or Russia or North Korea or anybody that doesn't like our, NATO, what does this tell them? That with a computer glitch, they can shut down the whole transportation system. That's a lot bigger than 9/11. 9/11 shut everything down. But what if this was a cyber attack? What if it was a hack that did this? It's a big deal. You can't shut down all the cars like that. You'd have to have a nuclear, what's that called? Something where a pulse. And if the pulse goes through, I saw something that was supposedly from NASA, where they wanted the satellite to look over. It was a short video. And they wanted them to look over at the dark side of the Earth, and so they did. And there was this object moving, and they said focus on that, and they did. And then we may have a situation here. What is that? And then it hit somewhere and blew up, and it was a nuclear explosion, and it sent a pulse which knocked out the front of the satellite. Those, I guess they're probably solar panels that are sticking out like wings, and it blew all that to smithereens, and it was from a nuclear explosion on the Earth. And that was the pulse that hit the satellite. And I wondered if that was real and when it happened or if it was fabricated. It looked pretty real, but anything can be forged these days. But I thought it came from NASA. Anyway, that was kind of a question in my mind. And so, how is the security situation when they can shut down the planes? How is the security? You know, sometime I think I watch some of these news people who commentary on everything, and they don't shave and they're look bedraggled, kind of like me. I don't look all that great when I'm on. But I have some opinions about things. Maybe I should have a little news channel. I could just comment on all the news. I mean, some people get on there and then they just read what the New York Times said and then they talk about it. Well, I read the New York Times every day. I've subscribed and it comes in my Twitter feed every time I like the New York Times. I really trust them. I feel that journalists are really good. Journalists are, I was a journalist of sorts, a travel writer. Journalists, to think that there's a huge conspiracy, can you get any 3 or 5 people to agree on something? How could you get a conspiracy that is so huge that it involves all the countries in the world or all these people that are in government? It's just, people are not like that. You know, you elect somebody because you know they're a good, honest person, but as soon as they're elected, then everything goes downhill because then they will be smeared and everybody will hate them because they don't do the right thing for them and, you know, whatever. And so these people that are in government are not all bad. There are definitely some bad eggs, but how I don't understand this philosophy of the conspiracy theorists. I mean, you could probably make up a conspiracy theory. I mean, some of these outlandish things that people come up with, and then all the lemmings follow them. I think education has something to do with it. Oh, you know, in what country is it? There was a country that is teaching, Norway. They're teaching their children how to tell misinformation from facts, which is an excellent thing to teach children. And of course, you have to have the right people teaching it. You can't have people that are going to teach misinformation to them. But to be able to analyze where sources come from, and it's very important to check the sources. You know, like this nuclear explosion that I saw on a short. Well, how old is it? When did it happen? How come I've never heard about this? And if it was a nuclear blast somewhere, what did it affect? You know? I mean, it sure looked like a nuclear blast, but there's no way to tell. I mean, movies are really good at making things seem quite real, right? It's all staged, but it's all quite real. Did you ever watch the movie The Tail Wags the Dog? Now, that was an interesting movie. It was about politics and wanting things to appear a certain way. And so hiring somebody to run across a field and then and carrying a doll. And then they photoshopped in a background of a war-torn area and bombs landing or whatever. And then they came up with this fake narrative about the setting and that this was happening and therefore we should do this. And so they pulled this whole thing off. It was called The Tail Wags the Dog. Haven't seen it in a long time. It's very interesting. There's movies that we watch that influence us. Do you know? Do you feel that way? There's some really good movies like The Day After Tomorrow. That was an interesting video or movie. You know, it was about climate scientists blowing the whistle and being ignored. And then these 3 major systems come in and sometimes you see systems like that now, like this atmospheric river over California. And sometimes these huge swirls in like Sandy, or there was one lately. Anyway, these make these huge, and it was like that, you know. Of course, in that one, they were trying to get to the family member went somewhere, and the father was trying to get there to get the child. I mean, you know, they had to have a thing happening. I see these videos. Yesterday, I was seeing people sliding down the hills in Seattle on the ice. Like they were just out to go somewhere and they couldn't get anywhere, and they were holding on to the side of their house and trying to pull themselves up the hill to get to their door. It was really, why did people go out in those days? I like a challenge, so I might be tempted to do stuff. I remember in our ice storm, I went outside. I had ashes with me. These people didn't have ashes. And they didn't wear Crocs. They wore regular shoes. Crocs will hold on to the ice. They stick to the ice. Nobody was wearing their Crocs. Of course, if the ice is on a slant, they don't stick very well. But they do stick. And they're a whole lot better than other things. If it's icy out, I wear my Crocs. And I take ski poles. You know? A cane with a rubber end would be good. Or putting glue on the bottom of your shoes, like hot glue, drawing lines back and forth on your shoes. There's ways to deal with things like ice. Crocs and ashes. If you spread ashes ahead of you on the ice, you stick perfectly. So during the ice storm we had in '98, my children went outside to see what it was like, and they slid right down the hill into the bushes, and they couldn't get up. And so I had to come after them with ashes. I threw ashes ahead of them or ahead of me, and I walked down to them, and then they could just walk up. Takes away all the slipperiness. So of course then you track it into your house if you use it too much. But I don't put salt down when it's icy. Salt takes a while. And if you've got ice that's thick, it's just going to make it bumpy, which is kind of good, but salt is bad for the soil and bad for everything that's going to grow for the future. You can't grow things in a salty surface. Anyway, but that was, but ashes are good. But people don't have ashes. But you could make ashes. You could, if you really wanted to, you could take your paper and go out on your deck and put it in a frying pan, and you could burn paper, and then you get some ash. Not as much as a wood stove. But if there's predicting an ice, get ashes. Sand also is good, but sand isn't as good as ashes. But sand is what they use on the roads here. So it is pretty good. So you could keep yourself a supply of sand and sprinkle it ahead of yourself if you have to go out. How about powder? Would something like baby powder work, or cornstarch, or flour? That's an interesting thing. You have to be curious. Maybe I should see. I have some flour. I could take it and put it out on the ice and see what happens. See if it makes it so that you could. Hello, inane boys. Here you are. And what are you thinking about today? Anyway, there's all these things on the news that I have thoughts about. Oh, look at that. Clouds are coming over. The sun is dampened, sort of. I should probably go for a walk. Even if the sun is under a cloud, it's better outside than it is inside. Why is that? Why is it? You know what I was thinking the other day? What's for dinner? It's almost noon. Nothing's for dinner. Nothing at all. Maybe eventually I might make something for dinner. Let's see. I have a half a pumpkin. I could put on my crock pot or Instant Pot and put pumpkin in, and I could put in. We had nettles in it the other day, and that was okay, but let's do something different. So maybe I could put pumpkin and zucchini squash. We have dried zucchini squash, and And how about Swiss chard? I have Swiss chard leaves and lentils. But I think too much lentils. The day before, a couple of days in a row, I've had a lot of lentils, and it's really heavy in my stomach. I didn't like having that much. Maybe I'll make hummus and eat some of the raw peppers in the kitchen. I could do that. Should probably go for a visit down to the walk down to my grass hut. I love my grass hut. It's only half done, but just looking at it is so wonderful. I should just sit there and look at it. It's better to look at it even than to be in it. But the thing about being outside versus inside, when I'm outside, everything is outside. The deer are outside, the raccoons, the skunks, the squirrels, the birds, everything's outside. There is something happening outside all the time. There's movement in the leaves, but inside, there is nothing happening. There's no movement. You can turn on the lights and you can turn on the fans, but you're still the only one here. I mean, we have a cat now, which I'm allergic to, but I'm not getting sick. I'm trying hard not to touch him and not to pet him much and just trying to avoid him. It's not nice for him, but oh well. He's been going out at night. He likes to go out at midnight. He wants to go outside, and then I leave him out all night. And last night, Willem let him in sometime, which was a good thing because it went down to -17. But where are all these things that are outside? There's a feral cat that hangs out here sometimes. Perhaps it's up in the neighbor's barn. That would be the smartest place to go if you're a feral cat. And you can see it from here. I mean, why would he freeze here when he can go there? All this fleece I have. I should probably put the fleece in a place where animals can burrow into it. But what about under the deck? I have all these raccoons that have lived here. There were 8 raccoons at one time. A couple years ago, I only had 3 babies, and last year I think there was 1 mother and 1 baby. And I figure if I don't see them, they're not here. There might have been more here, but I never saw them. But where are they, and what tunnels have they created? Have they made tunnels under the deck? Burrows? They all like to lay down and sleep in a heap. Does a cat go over and get near them? When they're all hibernating and sleeping, they aren't going to wake up and bite you or something. But there was this cat that we had before, a feral cat, and I saw him dragging himself out from under the deck. And I went over toward him, and he, of course, pulled himself as fast as he could out of my reach, you know. But so did the raccoons hurt him, or was he hurt by a fisher or something? I like being able to go out and see the tracks. It's so interesting outside, and I'm so curious. Inside, it's all the contrived stuff. Like I could spin, I can paint, I could do gourds, I could weave stuff there, I could knit, I could look outside. Like right there, that's quite a stuff that I could do. I could play my violin, I could paint, I could make these things. Of course, I have to go get materials to make these things. Oops. It does not want to stand up. Anyway, or I could do bob and lace, and that's there too. Anyway, but outside, all I have to do is walk, and I can see all these different tracks. I can follow the tracks. Once I found bear tracks, and they were a bit melted in, not really much, but they were a bit melted in. They were not fresh. And the bear was going in one direction, and there's no way I was going to catch up to a bear. He was going to go. So I followed the tracks. I followed them for quite a ways. I think they went over behind my neighbors, way through the woods. And then I followed them this way, and they walked straight across the stream. I had a bridge nearby, but they went straight across the stream. So I followed them for a while, and then I don't remember what happened to them. I think they crossed the road, but I couldn't find them on the other side. Perhaps he walked up the road for a while. Anyway, but outside, it's so interesting. I don't know about in a city. Ugh. I've been in some cities in the winter and just driven through, and it's There's cars and there's sidewalks with ice on them or snow and ice, and there's big drifts in between the road and or snow piles, dikes all around, and there's sloshy stuff and it's dirty and there's noise and there's no nature. You know, you go to places sometimes and there's absolutely no nature. You got building, sidewalk, street, sidewalk, building. And now and then you might see some. Now, what is NASA ice retreating? Amid unusually something about the Arctic, Antarctica. What did it say? Oh, no, no, no. Oh dear, I touched something and it was going to make a video. I don't know. Anyway, outside things change. Inside things don't change, except if there's children here and then things change. But then it's like work, work, work. Everything is on the floor now. Things are broken. And the cat too. But it's nice when you make a clean space, like to make this space here. That's good, and I cleared off that table over there too. I should probably put all these technology things in wherever I want them to go. My hard drives, which have pictures on them and things, they should probably go in the archived picture stuff. That's where they belong. Now, if you feed the birds, then the birds come to the windows, and then it's interesting to watch the birds. But now that I have a cat, but some people have cats and feed the birds. But I don't want to draw the birds in. It's like baiting them for the cat to eat them. We have enough mice. I keep finding mice droppings in one of the kitchen drawers. Why isn't the cat eating the mice? Can he not get to them? Are they not coming out? Are we feeding him too well? He's just hanging around sleeping. Why isn't he eating the mice? He's not useful if he's not eating the mice. Well, I suppose the sun has come out. I should probably, but see, now it's okay in the house. I don't mind it in the house now that the sun is out, because it's nice in here. It's a pretty room. I have lots of views of it, and I don't have to be cold. I was thinking what I should do probably is go down to the A-frame, but it's really flooded. Republican officials online called on Representative George Santos to resign as a, that was a tweet. Should probably go down there and make a campfire at the A-frame and just spend the day at the A-frame. I have lots of food down there, you know, in jars. I have lentils and dried greenery and spices and things like that. And I have a pot and I have wood. Oh, what's that walking along there? Oh, that's that white cat. A white feral cat. Now, isn't that interesting? Let's turn around and see if we can see him. He's way out there, coming across behind that tree. Oh, he went behind there. Now, I wonder if he lives in that, oh, there he is, right in front of it. I'm making he's right there, outside of that building. Can see his feet. I'll put him right in the center of the screen. Huh. But you see, this is outside. This is where things happen. This is outside. Where'd it go? Where am I now? There's too much reflections inside. There he is. I could go outside and look. The kids went out here. They took a chair and they took a notebook and left it all. Oh, he's going around the back of it. Yeah, going right around the back. Oh, I hear something over there. You see, everything's happening outside. Nothing happening inside. We have a neighbor. Neighbors can give you lots of things to watch and be curious about. Let's go back in here. I've now gotten my foot wet. Being curious. This is all the stored stuff from my parents. My grandfather's easel. Look at that. That's open in there. That needs to be closed up. Yeah, I need to stuff some fleece in there. See, these are the hard drives and their wires, I believe. These are rechargeable things. These are camera rechargers. This I was thinking of putting on the back of here. I think I'll do that. Maybe. I forget what this is for. I got rid of a whole bunch of those things that don't work. I have to try these out in the car and see if they work. This is a camera battery charger. What's this for? This would go over here with this sort of stuff. I did go through here and get rid of a lot of things. This is on. And what do you do to turn it off? How do you turn this off? DST, is that distance? Is this for walking? No. How do you turn this thing off and what's it for anyway? Hold it down. Sometimes that turns things off. This is miles per hour and distance. Okay. Maybe this is a walking thing. Maybe I'll walk. Maybe I'll take this with me and go for a walk and see if it works. Average, maximum, calories. Oh yeah, this is definitely something to do with walking. CO2, 40. What's that, 40 steps? Apparently January 11th is National Step in a Puddle Day. And this is the time, 12:06. That's interesting. All right, I can put this in my pocket. So there we have it. So nobody has said anything. Oh yes, inane boys and fast food and gaming and Sue's. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Nancy. Hello, Nancy. How are you, Nancy? Hello, Nancy. What's for dinner? Sounds good. Well, hello, everybody. 4 people are here. But I have run out of things to say. I should go outside. I should go out and write in my journal is what I should do. I need to write in my journal. I haven't journaled for a few days. If you journal right away, you write lots of stuff. If you haven't journaled for a while, you don't. But I stopped that last journal before I went to Maui, I had that journal in the corner of the desk there I was working through, and I was only halfway through, but I thought that might not be enough left for the trip. It was, actually, it would have been enough, but I didn't take it. I took a new one, so I wrote in a new one, but now it's kind of become the daily one. So maybe I should jump back to this one. This can carry on everything except the Maui trip, which is in its own. I don't know. Okay, well, let's see. What should we do now? Let's just hang up and go for a walk. Now you go out for a walk too, and we'll get back together later. And know that I am trying to upload all these videos I took when I was outside. I guess I should make them really short, and then they'll upload quickly. My internet's not very good for uploading. But I'm surprised it's on live. It's pretty good, eh? Okay then. I guess I'll just put that there and head out. Bye bye. It's nice talking.